Hey everyone, I'm Matt. Welcome back to another video. Today, I am super excited. I am with Will and Jen, and today we are test driving a motorhome with the all-new liquid spring suspension attached to it. Will, as you guys know, is from Matt's RV Reviews Towables, and he's been in the RV industry for 5 years and has driven hundreds of motorhomes, and his wife Jen has never driven anything bigger than a Kia. So we're gonna get the perspective of both of them, and we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Great, so before we begin, I'm here with Wayne Wells from Liquid Spring, right here in Wyoming, and he's the one who's gonna be taking us out on the test drive. And before we do, Wayne, what the heck is Liquid Spring?
So Matt, what we have here is a 4-link compressible liquid suspension. And what that's gonna do is you're going down the road, we have a silicone fluid and it's compressing that fluid. That's what takes away the momentum of all of the movement of the coach. But being we're using a fluid, we can very rapidly control the amount of fluid the suspension has to compress, which is going to move the spring rates up and down very rapidly, like 40 milliseconds. So it's, It's almost immediate. So what you'll feel is the coach will kind of start to move and stop.
Okay.
And you'll get more of that when we're on our ride. We can talk a little bit more about that. But
perfect.
Nuts and bolts, that's the quick 2-second tour.
Perfect. Let's go out there and take a look.
Perfect.
Great. So you guys ready to test drive?
Yeah.
Now, Wayne, who are you?
Wayne Wells, Liquid Spring here. I am the sales person in charge of the RV division of Liquid Spring.
Okay, perfect. And how do people get in contact with you?
The easiest way to get me is either through my email, wells@liquidspring.com, or my cell phone number, 503-709-8901.
Now, Wayne does travel the country all over with this motorhome and does test drives throughout the country. So make sure you you reach out to him if you want to test drive one of these. Jen, turn on the camera and let's begin. Hi, Tucker. So, just so everybody knows, this does have the new 7.3 liter V8 Godzilla engine. All right, so Will's gonna drive first, then Jen. We are in a Fleetwood Southwind. It's really exciting about Fleetwood. You can have it factory option from Fleetwood, Holiday Rambler, and Tiffin. So, Will,
ready?
When you're ready. Wayne, is there anything for him to know?
Nope, right now we're in the normal setting.
Okay.
The driver interface is right there by his right knee.
Yep.
And basically, we just drive away. That's changeable anytime you want. It's an immediate change. Just push the arrows, it'll change the modes.
And what settings and modes are there?
There is a comfort, which is the softest and the least active. A normal, which is just normal. And then the sport setting is the most active. It's going to ride a little harder, not much, but it's definitely going to handle better.
Perfect. So, Will, what mode are you in?
So we're in normal right now. We'll stick with that for a minute.
No, we'll stick with that. Yeah, totally.
And then we can switch it up. Ready?
Yep.
Wow, I could already feel it in the turn. In the turn, you can feel it. 'Cause normally, like, we definitely shifted because we made a hard turn.
Yep.
But you kind of felt it catch and like balance out.
And that's exactly what it does do, Matt. Once it starts rolling, it'll kind of catch itself, and it won't roll anymore from that point. You can just continue through the corner at whatever speed you want.
Right. Perfect. Great job, Will.
Man, you can really feel it on this turn. And it was, you don't feel that shifting at all, you know? It's amazing.
And that was a hard turn as well.
Very hard and a little fast.
Now, what are you feeling, Will? How can you compare it to when you drive other motorhomes?
So the biggest thing I can see is that sway. There is, I mean, it's...
Look at that flag. We have storm coming.
Yeah, it's
and
very,
we're not
very
getting
windy.
That sway right now.
No, yeah, it's very windy. I mean, our tent was blowing away at the RV show, and this, I'm not feeling the wind at all.
Right.
And especially on the turns, you know, everybody who's driven a motorhome knows you just really feel that shift back and forth, and you know, it's not bad at all. you know, the road bumps and stuff, it seems to absorb that better as well.
Yeah, what it really does is take the sharp edges off of that. You don't feel that banging. It's just a lot smoother and easier riding.
Shaking around in
That's
there.
correct.
Right, I was gonna say that, but I wasn't sure.
If that was from the liquid spring.
Right.
But it's
Like the cracking of the cabinets and all that, and the
Yeah.
banging and the
Right.
shaking.
It's probably like better for the motorhome, honestly. You
Yeah.
know, smoother on
Well,
it.
the foundation, the more firm you can keep that, the better.
Right. You know, less trim breaking, less cabinets breaking, stuff like that. All right, so I'm gonna give it a try in comfort mode. We
Okay.
get going here. We'll see, you know, what the difference is. And honestly, it's kind of like, I'm very curious to see what it does because, like, I feel like it can't get any better. So
Right, it already feels.
It feels so
like
good.
A comfort mode.
Now, I would imagine comfort mode is going to be for the slower turns, but more comfort, and sport's going to be for when you drive faster. Oh, we're about to go over railroad tracks.
Yep.
Yeah, these are good railroad tracks too. Everybody's slowing down. But just running right over them.
Okay.
Oh
Wow.
gosh. That felt like a diesel pusher.
It really does, yeah.
Like I feel like normally you would feel like.
Yeah, no, like it feels like your whole motorhome's falling apart
Yeah.
when you do that.
Right.
So usually, like in the class days we've been in before, you can't even like listen to the radio because it's like so loud in here. It's like no point. And I feel like you could easily listen to the radio and actually hear everything while you're going down the road.
Well, that has a lot to do with it being the 7.3 liter V8 engine
Okay.
on the newer motorhomes. But the suspension and the road noise and everything else
Yeah.
just amplifies the sound. Coming in hot.
Careful, there's a big drop off.
Yeah.
I see him.
Thank God for liquid springs or we'd be in that ditch. Okay. Wow.
Like this is all the way turned. And even at this speed you feel it, you know, and you just don't feel it.
All right, time for Jen to hop in the driver's seat. Will, how would you say that felt overall?
It really, really felt amazing. It truly felt like driving a diesel, you know, with a nice air ride suspension and everything.
Now, Wayne, this has the 4-point on it. What's the difference between the 4-point and the 2-point?
So this has liquid spring suspension on both the front and the rear.
Ah.
2 points rear only. This one has 4-corner, which is what Fleetwood offers on their version, their coaches.
Perfect. And I'm glad you mentioned that because just because Fleetwood, Holiday Rambler, and Tiffin offer liquid springs as an option, any manufacturer who builds on an F53 chassis can get it added on after the fact.
That's correct. You can retrofit any F53.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Anybody can get it put on after the fact.
Correct.
I love it. You ready to drive, Jen?
I'm a little scared.
It's a lot bigger than your Kia.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Very nice.
Wow, and like that jerk, you could feel it stop every time.
It's amazing.
How does it feel your first time driving a motorhome?
Not nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be.
And you're in comfort now, you don't want to take it in sport and drive fast, do you?
No.
Okay.
You can put it in
no, I
sport
will.
though, Matt. You can bump it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I can bump it.
Yeah, bump it
Go
to
ahead,
sport.
push the up arrow, yep. That's normal, that's sport. There you go. And like this type of driving, you won't notice a huge amount of difference, but you'll notice the sway reduces a lot.
Okay.
And across that railroad track, you'll probably feel a little more in sport than you will in comfort.
It's great for passengers too, I think. Back here,
Yep.
you know, if you've got kids.
Andrea's
family members.
daughters always feel sick in the back of a
Yeah.
motorhome.
And I think this is great for new drivers or first time RVers as well. It's not so scary driving it for the first time.
And dogs, like Tucker gets scared with all the shaking. I think it's a little bit better with how smooth it is.
Okay. I feel it a little more in sport.
Yeah, you're gonna feel because it's not
Put it in comfort.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, did you notice how it changed?
Wow.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not drastic, but it's
No, it's yeah.
You guys want to go in the Budweiser bus?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's right there.
King of beer. Man.
Again, very nice. Very smooth.
Looks so big.
And these turns on, like, you guys might not be able to see it on camera, but these are turns where you could definitely feel the force and you feel it stop. It's really, really nice.
Like you feel like it holds you from the
Yeah, like it holds you. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. How's it feel, Jen?
It feels great. If we had a motorhome this size that drove like this, I think I'd feel comfortable driving it. Not all the time. Will could drive most of the time, but
Will is the driver.
he is our driver. He's our chauffeur usually.
You're turning up here. Now this is gonna be the final test, y'all.
Take this.
It was nice, but
Wow.
It's just crazy. It's unbelievable.
it drives like an SUV.
It does. It really does.
Right. Oh man. Oh, look at it raising.
No, you don't want it. It will not.
Now Wayne, why would somebody want to raise it and lower it?
If you're driving down the road, you know you're going to drag something on the back of your coach. You have a bad departure angle in a driveway or something, you can lift it up. It'll lift up the rear axle about 3.5 inches, which is about 7 inches at the back end.
Yep.
Or vice versa, when you're parking to camp, if you drop it all the way down, your step gets a lot closer to the ground.
Yep.
Your jacks have to lift it a lot less, but it just makes it a little easier to get in and out of the coach with
Yes.
the low and all those things.
Yeah, look how high it is now to where it was. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, so we got to wrap this up quick because there's a big storm coming right now and you guys can hear the wind, but it's not just the fact of how it drove, it's how it drove with this storm coming made it amazing. Jen, what are your final thoughts?
I've never driven anything close to this size, and I would feel comfortable taking this. I mean, look at all the little turns we had to do.
Right.
You know, that's where you really like feel the motorhome shaking and leaning, and it felt so nice and smooth.
Will, final thoughts?
I really think it's amazing. I would encourage anybody, even remotely interested, to test drive it.
Yes.
That's how you're gonna make that decision. I think most of you will really enjoy it.
Yes, and as you guys saw in my video, gas versus diesel, there's an $80,000, $100,000, $120,000 price gap between a gas motorhome and a diesel motorhome. And the number one factor to that is a diesel motorhome drives better with the air ride suspension than a gas motorhome. Well, that was till we met Wayne from Liquid Spring. And Wayne, you and Liquid Spring's doing a great job bridging that gap, making it so if somebody doesn't want to spend the diesel money, they can still get a nice high-end luxury Class A gas motorhome that's going to still perform the same way a diesel will.
That's correct. It definitely makes a gas coach more palatable if you don't like the driving of a normal gas coach.
Great. Thank you so much, Wayne, for being on the show. Do you have any final thoughts?
Nope, I appreciate you guys at Matt's RV. Thank you very much for joining us.
Great. And if you guys want to hear a testimonial, it's one thing that we're driving it, right?
Right.
But if you guys want to hear a testimonial, our friends Izzy and MJ have Liquid Spring on their Newmar motorhome. Not a factory option, not yet, but they did get it added on. And if you guys want a customer testimonial, make sure you check out our friends Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing. Thank you so much for Will and Jen for being our demos. Wayne, thank you so much for having us. And Tucker, we'll see you next time.